Funky Fromeyer.
Present.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Present.
Co-Chair Girdler. Chair Frazier Gordon.
Here, thank you. We do have a quorum. And first off, I'd like to ask for the approval of the minutes. Is there any member, were there any questions about the minutes? If not, I'd entertain a motion. Motion by Senator Girdler. Second by Representative Thomas. And Savannah will report the informational items.
Pursuant to KRS 45765, UK reported several equipment purchases to be located at King's Daughters Medical Center in Ashland. Pursuant to House Bill 727, which allows school districts to issue general obligation debt, through their fiscal agent, Davis County reported upcoming general obligation bond issues to finance $17.23 million for 2 energy savings projects, 2 athletic lighting projects, a roofing project, and a project at Whiteville Elementary. Pursuant to KRS 45-812-1, through their fiscal agents, 3 school districts, none of which needed an additional tax levy to pay debt service, reported upcoming revenue bond issues to finance new projects. Those school districts were Corbin Independent, Muhlenberg County, Walton Verona Independent, and Boone County. Pursuant to KRS 45A-182, the Western Kentucky University reported its intent to use a construction management at-risk project delivery method to renovate Henry Hardin Cherry Hall with a $75 million construction budget. Pursuant to KRS 56-823-11A, the Division of Real Properties reported square footage lease modifications under $50,000. Pursuant to House Bill 6, the Kentucky Communications Network Authority provided us with 2 new capital projects for Kentucky Wired Critical Infrastructure upgrades at $12.9 million and Kentucky Wired Critical Infrastructure purchase for $12.4 million. Pursuant to House Bill 6, Eastern Kentucky University provided 4 new projects from their asset preservation pool. And pursuant to KRS 43050-2E, and the 2005 Model Program Checklist for new lease law compliance for post-secondary education institutions, all post-secondary institutions auditors did not have any findings to report.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll start out with a project report from the Finance and Administration Cabinet. Kevin Cardwell's here in person to present agenda item number 4, a new DMA project requiring action, and 6 pool allocations requiring no action. Please begin with the DMA project, and then after that vote, we'll continue with the pool allocations.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, and members of the committee. As requested, the first is the action item today. It's being presented pursuant to KRS 45-767A. This project is for the Department of Military Affairs. It's for the Ravenna Readiness Center restroom modernization. The project amount is $1,075,700, and it will be funded with 50% federal capital construction funds, 50% state funds. Through the 22-24 Armory Installation Maintenance Pool and the 24-26 Armory Installation Facility Maintenance Pool. This project will include upgrade to the men's and women's restrooms, flooring, lactation room, ceiling grid, and paint. Thank you.
Okay, any questions from members? Seeing none, do I have a motion and a second? Motion by Senator Howe. Second by Representative Herron. Could you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes. The project was approved, and you may continue with the 6 pool allocations.
All right, thank you. And I apologize. The pool allocations are 6 projects today that are in excess of $1 million. First one is with the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet, Department of Parks. Marina upgrades and various parks projects in the amount of $1,015,600. This is funded from the Department of Parks 22-24 maintenance pool and the 24-26 maintenance pool. Project's going to cover design cost for various marinas prior to the bidding out for construction. Next one is the Justice and Public Safety Cabinet, Department of Corrections, Luther Luckett Correctional Complex. This is for perimeter fence improvements. The amount of $2,923,387, funded from 24-26 maintenance pool and the 22-24 maintenance pool. Scope is to add approximately 2,400 lineal feet of perimeter security fence to the rear and additional fence and gate system to the Sally Port. Current prison security fence design standard is to have a redundancy double fence with a concrete rat wall foundation system and extensive razor wire. The next one's, sorry about this. Post-secondary education, Kentucky State University are the next projects. They're from the asset preservation pool. First one is the electronic locking system in the amount of $1.5 million, funded 100% with bond funds from the 24-26 asset preservation pool. Project will upgrade the campus electronic locking system, improving building access, and maintaining a safe on-campus environment. The next one, Kentucky State University as well, mechanical and electrical upgrade. Project total is $4 million, funded with 100% bond funds from the 24-26 asset preservation pool. It's going to upgrade the mechanical and electrical infrastructure and controls across campus. Bradford Hall renovation project as well at Kentucky State University. Total of that is $1.8 million, funded with bond funds of $1,565,217 and some change from the 22-24 asset preservation, and $234,782 and some change in restricted funds, and this satisfies the 15% required match. This project will renovate Bradford Hall, which is home to both business and the music programs, and will address the water infiltration issues. New windows will be installed, and related structural and building entrance work will be completed to address this issue. And the last one today, Chandler Hall renovation. Total of $9,970,000, funded with $582,608 and some change from bond funds from the 22-24 asset preservation pool, $87,391 in restricted funds, which again satisfies the 15% match requirement. And in addition, $9.3 million is being provided from the 24-26 asset preservation pool that does not require a match. This project is going to renovate the Chandler Hall, which is a residence hall on campus that houses 115 students. The building is going to undergo a complete renovation, including mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Exterior building and envelope repairs, new flooring, and improved space utilization. And that completes my report today.
Okay, thank you very much. I do have one question on the first item from the Tourism, Arts and Heritage. We received a letter. It's being reported as an increase. Do you know what the increase consists of?
I think there's some staff on from Department of Parks Tourism, if they would be able to answer that question.
Okay.
The increase is to complete some marina design to the 95% level so we can have the bidding documents prepared.
All right. Thank you for that. Oh, sir, could you please identify yourself for the minutes that's attending remotely?
Yes, my name is Mike Swatzina. I'm the Director of Facilities Management for State Parks.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes, Senator.
So I have two questions, and this one is probably to you, Mike, because this will add on to the question. When we received some testimony in another committee around kind of the time frame and the process of the state parks, there was some testimony to involve perhaps the fiscal courts or some of the local cities and counties so that we could keep a bit more of a feeling of ownership and propriety towards the community interest of updating and upgrading these parks. That's such a substantial amount of money for the design, and I respect what you're saying in order to bid those properly. Can you help us understand why we're talking about $1 million for design? Because it is almost a 50% increase from the $770,000 that was allocated, and an increase of $245,000, almost a 50% increase.
Right. So we have, if this involves multiple marinas, Buckhorn, Rough River, and the completion of the design for Jenny Wiley. We have a consultant on board who has done initial assessments of these marinas. And in order to get the final engineered drawings completed, we had to do the increase to get the complete replacement of Jenny Wiley Marina complete, which was it's going to be a pretty substantial $12 million marina. That's going to be the bulk of the expense. And Buckhorn, I don't have the numbers offhand in front of me, was around the $90-something thousand increase to get the design complete, and then a smaller amount, I believe, at Rough River. So the bulk of this, we funded all of the design for Jenny Wiley out of maintenance pool, because unlike Yatesville Lake, which is a line item this year, we received $1 million in first fiscal year of the biennium for design, and the second year will be for construction. We're now at the phase where we need to increase or complete the design on these three so we can advertise for the construction and upgrades and repairs.
And will that amplify the time frame so that we don't continue to increase the costs on the projects?
No, this will complete the design for those three marinas. Then we'll go into construction. Then we should be in pretty good place with those three marinas going forward for many years.
Thank you for that. My second question was on the justice and public safety, the increase of $203,000. Again, that looks like about a 10% increase. But when we were talking about 2,400 linear feet, that's over $1,000 per foot. I often shudder at the average prices. How do we have confidence that we're not getting the shaft because it's a government contract? I just don't feel great about paying $1,000 per foot, over $1,000.
Understand the question. I will have to turn to Alan if he's on as well for some expert in this area. He's with Justice and Public Safety. Alan, are you on?
Good afternoon, Alan Watt with the Department of Corrections. I'm the Special Assistant to the Director of Adult Institutions. I'm over the Capital Construction Management Branch. To answer your question, this is for a single layer fence. There is going to be a wrap wall that is installed with this. It will go down approximately 2 feet. There are fence posts approximately every 10 feet. The height of the fence and the cost of the razor wires where this cost comes into play. If we were doing a 2-layer fence, the cost actually goes up because there is rock that's called riprap that goes in between, and that will be added to this project as well. So the $1,000 a linear foot, just materials alone, it's around $700 in materials. it's the labor that's the intensive part to construct this.
No, I agree. That was a great question. Any other questions from members? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Cardwell.
Thank you all.
Let's see. Next up is a lease report from the Finance and Administration Cabinet. Natalie Bronner's here remotely to present Agenda Item 5, which is a new lease and tenant improvement fund request requiring action and a lease modification requiring no action. And if I could get a motion in a second, we'll roll those into one vote. And motion by Senator Funky Fromeyer. Second by Representative Thomas. And if you could, Ms. Bronner, if you could begin with the new lease and tenant improvement fund request, and then after we vote on those, you can continue with the lease modification.
Certainly. Thank you and good afternoon. Again, my name is Natalie Bronner. I'm the Director of the Division of Real Properties. The first item is a new lease for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, Department for Community-Based Services in Harlan County for PR 5800. This lease resulted from the competitive bid process outlined in KRS 56803. With 3 proposals received, the agency has recommended acceptance of the proposal for new construction, which was submitted by Otis Jackson. The proposed lease is for 11,068 square feet of new office space and 68 reserved paved parking spaces at an annual rental rate of $24 per square foot, excluding utilities, which is $265,632 annually through June 30th, 2031. This lease is being reported pursuant to KRS 56823-2 since the annual cost exceeds $100,000. The second item for action today is a tenant improvement request. This is from the agencies occupying the Mayo Underwood building, and per KRS 56813-2D, the agencies requested a upgrade to security for exterior doors connected to the parking garage. The doors currently have motion sensors that unlock the door for people to exit, which may be activated unintentionally. Due to the potential security risk, the tenants have asked for the doors to be altered so that the automatic unlock sensor is removed and the push bar is used to unlock the door to exit. 2 quotes were received, and the tenant agencies have requested to proceed with a low bid of $51,103.50 from Blue Sky Electric, and each agency has agreed to pay its portion of the expense. The total amount of improvements for the Mayo Underwood building as of today, and including this one, is $97,959.79.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions from members? Senator Funky Fromeyer.
Thank you, Natalie. On the lease, there were 3 options that were offered, and the one that was selected is over 110,000. But it looks like the 11,163 square feet, the object was met. The space is needed, but I was just in Harlan a couple weeks back, so I know there's a lot of availability there. I'm just a little surprised that we're paying $10 more a square foot when there is one available.
So the agency did request the new construction over the existing property. And so that's the difference. Of course, new construction, obviously the cost reflects that. Prior to COVID, I think the agency occupied about 26,029 square feet with two leases there. So as folks have come back in the office, they need the additional square feet. And so that's what we're seeing, here.
Yeah, that's just excessive. I can't agree with that. That's just too excessive.
So this was a competitively bid project per 803. And of course, 3 proposals were submitted. And of course, with 56-803 13A, there's no negotiating beyond that point. We have to go with the proposals that were submitted. And of course, in this instance, the agency has requested the new construction.
Any further questions? Okay, given that additional information, I'm going to take these up separately. So I would like to do the first one that we'll vote on will be the new lease for the Cabinet and Health Pharmacies, the PR. Yeah, do I need to withdraw the other motion? Since we rolled them? No? Okay. Okay, so we are going to vote these separate. The first one will be on that Harlan County PR 5800 on the new lease. If you could please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer.
No.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
I'm gonna vote with Miss Funky Fromeyer since she's the smartest one in here. So, no.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
I'll be a no as well on this. All right, now we'll do the second vote, which is on the Tenant Improvement Fund request. If you could please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer.
That was the Mayo building with the change in.
Yes.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes. The second, that motion was approved. What was the vote count on the first one? Okay, the first one did not pass. 3-3. Okay. Okay. Okay, you may proceed with the rest of your items, please.
Thank you. The last item I'm reporting today is a lease modification for the Board of Respiratory Care for PR 5815 in Boyle County. For KRS 56813, this lease modification for improvements was necessary to accommodate the agency's requirements for demolition and installation of framing and drywall, upgrade of electrical services and lighting, new flooring and paint. 2 estimates were secured, and the board accepted the low bid from Mobley's Heating and Air for $39,400. This cost will be amortized through the lease term of June 30th, 2029. This modification is being reported to the committee pursuant to KRS 56-82311.
Okay, all right. That required no action, and any questions from members? Okay, thank you, Ms. Bronner.
Thank you.
We will now hear a report from the Office of Financial Management. Sandy Williams should be here remotely, and she is presenting agenda item number 6A, 5 loans and 2 Cleaner Water Program Grant County Pool reallocations that do require action. She will also give a brief Kentucky water and wastewater assistance for troubled or economically restrained system status update, as well as to present 17 line item grants that thankfully require no action. If I could have a motion and a second, we'll roll those into one roll call vote. Motion by Senator Howell. Second by my co-chair Girdler, Senator Girdler. And Ms. Williams, if you would begin with the Kentucky Waters Program, we'll vote after you've presented all the action items before the line item grants.
Thank you, Chair Fraser Gordon and members of the committee. I'm Sandy Williams, Executive Director with the Kentucky Infrastructure Authority. Pursuant to KRS 224A-100, the authority does have the 5 loans and 2 grants requiring action today. And I'm very pleased to provide an update on our newest Kentucky Waters program. This is the 10th new funding type that KIA has stood up in the past 4 years. So we have not been bored. The Kentucky Waters applications, scoring, and financing recommendations were presented to and approved by the KIA board on November 7th. This Kentucky Water and Wastewater Assistance for Troubled or Economically Restrained Systems Fund was created by House Bill 563 in the 24 regular session. And it did create a new chapter in KRS 224A, the statutes under which KIA operates. This program is for public water and wastewater systems to seek funding from the General Assembly. During the application period, July 17th through August 30th of this year, KIA received 165 applications for over $700 million. 6 of the applications did not provide sufficient information for them to receive a score and were considered ineligible. 9 of the applications did provide sufficient information to receive a score and funding recommendation. However, they did not provide a corrective action plan as required by the new law and were considered ineligible. After taking out those 15, a total of 150 applicants received an approved score and funding recommendation by the KIA board, with a total funding request just over $657 million. The remaining funds provided through Kentucky Waters for this fiscal year is just over $72 million. The range of scores for these eligible applicants ranged from a high of 82 points to a low of 10 points out of a possible 125. The higher the score, the higher the project was ranked. 51% of the applicants qualified as a financing recommendation to receive grant funds. 8% qualified to receive 50% principal forgiveness. 5% qualified under the financing terms, principal with 0 interest, and 35% of the applications fell in the full principal and interest repayment category. And Madam Chair, would you like for me to proceed with the loans?
Please, and we'll stop
Yes.
before you get to the grants and do our vote.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Under the Clean Water State Revolving Fund, the City of Carrollton has a Fund A loan in the amount of $4.5 million for their industrial customer expansion, treatment plant expansion, and enhancement project. Thankfully, they refer to that under the shortened name of ICE-T. This project will include increasing the flow capacity with approximately 15,000 linear feet of 10-inch main. Additional components include increasing the emergency storage at the Ghent Regional Pump Station and upgrading SCADA communication at the pump stations. The project will also include updating the current 201 facilities plan, that is a requirement by the Kentucky Division of Water, to explore, will also explore replacing other appurtenances and making miscellaneous improvements as identified in their updated plan. This 20-year loan has an interest rate of 1.25% and was approved at the November 7th KIA board meeting. Under our infrastructure revolving fund, the City of Berea has a Fund B loan increase in the amount of $917,600 for their Madison County Airport Sewer and Water Line Extension project. The original loan was approved by the KIA board on June 3rd, 2021. The budget was updated to reflect current cost estimates for the original sewer project, and now also includes water service for the project as well. This will bring the total loan to $1,173,800. The original terms and conditions will remain the same. This will be a 20-year loan with a 1% interest rate, and the board approved the project at the November 7th KIA board meeting. Also, under our Fund B Infrastructure Revolving Fund, Farmdale Sanitation District has a Fund B loan in the amount of $4 million for their Interceptor Sewer System Phase 1 project. This project includes elimination of 5 failing package treatment plants and constructing a sewer interceptor to convey flow from Farmdale system to the city of Frankfort's sewer treatment plant. KIA approved this loan with a 20-year term, a 1.25% interest rate at its November 7th board meeting. The city of Mayfield also is under our Infrastructure Revolving Fund B, with a loan amount of $1,651,384 for their Mayfield Electric and Water System Clear Well project. The project includes a new 400,000-gallon clear well and rehabilitation of their existing clear well. Other project components include 3 high service pumps, a new aerator, and a flash mixer. A combination of age and damage from the December 2021 tornado has increased the need for repairs and redundancy. This will be a 20-year loan with a 0.5% interest rate and was approved by the board November 7th. Now turning to our Drinking Water State Revolving Fund, the City of Princeton's Fund F loan in the amount of $600,000 is for their lead service line replacement project. The commission conducted an inventory of all system service lines and submitted the findings to the Kentucky Division of Water. Over 4,000 connections were inspected using a 2-point verification method to look at both the public and private side of the meter as required by law and determined which lines need to be replaced. This project was required in order to stay in compliance with EPA's new lead and copper rule. This will be a 100% principal forgiveness loan in accordance with the federal grant requirements and was approved at the November 7th KIA board meeting. And we also have 2 grant-funded projects for the committee's consideration today. Both of these are from round 2 of the Cleaner Water Program and are both reallocation requests. To remind the committee members, this program was established under House Bill 1 of the 2022 session. One is for a sewer project, one is for a water project. And I think that's where I'm supposed to stop today.
Yes, ma'am. Any questions from members? Okay, while you get a drink, we'll see if we can get a motion in a second, and then you can continue with the House bill. So I'll have a motion by Senator Howe and a second by Senator Funky Fromeyer. If you could please call the roll.
Senator Funky Fromeyer.
Yes.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron.
Yes.
Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Frazier Gordon.
Yes. So those 17 KIA transactions are approved, and you can continue with the 17 line item grants, which again require no action.
Thank you, Madam Chair. From House Bill 1 of the 2022 session, we do have 1 line item reallocation request for a water project. And from House Bill 1 of the 2024 session, there are 16 line item grants consisting of 9 sewer projects and 9 water projects. To date, 34 of the 40 line items have been presented to the committee, representing 52 projects, and we're working closely with the remaining 6 grantees to get their project information. And that concludes my report.
Okay, any questions from members? Seeing none, thank you, Ms. Williams.
Thank you.
We now have an action item from the Economic Development Fund grants. Katie and Kylie, your favorite part of the agenda, double K. And they'll be presenting 6 EDF grants that require action. And again, I'd like to get a motion to roll these. Motion by Senator Howe, and second by Representative Herron. And you may begin.
Good afternoon. I'm Katie Smith of the Deputy Secretary of the Cabinet.
Hello, and I'm Kylie Palmer, Director of Program Administration, and we're going to present 6 projects today. First, we have Christian County Fiscal Court on behalf of the City of Hopkinsville. That was approved by KEDFA for a $2.5 million EDF grant. Grant funds will be used to assist with the work on the wastewater and infrastructure development. Project anticipated investment for the infrastructure improvement is estimated at approximately $13.5 million. Disbursement requests shall be submitted on a reimbursement basis only and may be requested no more than once a month. Progress report will be provided with the submission of the request. House Bill 1 of the 2022 regular session of the General Assembly authorized a total of $100 million to support approved mega development projects. Mega economic development projects are ones that are already of an interest to a company seeking to locate or expand in Kentucky and that have an infrastructure cost exceeding $10 million at the potential location site. This project will be funded from this source of funds through the EDF program. Next, we have the Christian County Fiscal Court on behalf of the Kitchen Food Company Limited. This was approved by KEDFA for a $2.5 million EDF grant. The grant funds will be used for a new location in Christian County to meet the needs of its customers throughout the U.S. Kitchen Food Company Limited will be required to create and maintain 925 new full-time jobs in Christian County, paying an average hourly wage of $29, including benefits. A corporate guarantee and 2 personal guarantees will be provided as collateral for the grant, as outlined in the board report, and repayment provisions are also established if the company fails to create the jobs, maintain the jobs, or pay the required wages. All those compliance dates are outlined in your board reports. Next, we have 4 KPDI projects. First, the City of Eddyville, on behalf of Eddyville Riverport and Industrial Development Authority, was approved by KEDFA for a $2 million KPDI EDF grant. This is to construct a spec building in the Eddyville Industrial Park. Matching funds are provided through a bank loan, and the total potential investment for this project is $4 million. Floyd County Fiscal Court, on behalf of the Big Sandy Area Development District, was approved for a project with a potential investment of approximately $5 million. Project is seeking to acquire a 50-acre tract of land for the purpose of developing the property into the Thunder Ridge Industrial Business Park in Prestonsburg. Matching funds are provided through the AMLR program funds, and the project was approved by KEDFA for a $2 million KPDI EDF grant. Coalfields Regional Industrial Authority, on behalf of the City of Hazard, was approved by KEDFA for a $4.2 million KPDI EDF grant to construct a secondary water treatment plant and a transmission line at the Coalfields Industrial Park in Perry County. This is a regional project with support from Breathitt, Knott, and Perry counties, and matching funds are provided through local grant funds. Total potential investment for this project is approximately $37.7 million. And last, we have Caldwell County Fiscal Court on behalf of the Princeton-Caldwell County Industrial Development Authority, approved for a project with a potential investment of approximately $8 million. Project is seeking to construct a building on the existing build-ready site in the Princeton Industrial Park. Matching funds are provided through a bank loan. This is also a regional project with support from Caldwell and Crittenden counties. And the project was approved by KEDFA for a $4 million KPDI EDF grant. The 4 KPDI grant projects were presented today were identified by an independent site selection consultant for potential for future investment of an economic development projects. The 2 EDF grant projects and the 4 KPDI projects all were recommended by Secretary Knoll, and we have a signed concurrence letter from Secretary Johnson. I would like to point out that the City of Eddyville project was presented at our September KEDFA board meeting, and the remaining 5 were at our October KEDFA board meeting, and then they were all presented to state props and building commissions on November 14th.
Okay, very good stuff.
Thank you.
Representative Thomas, I bet you have a comment.
I was going to say, since half of them are in my district, I'll make a motion that we approve them. It's a good day today.
If there's no other questions, I'll accept that motion, and I'll be looking for a second. Second from Senator Howe.
Two boys made out like a band.
That's right. Would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Frommeyer.
I wanted to vote aye with a comment. I just really appreciate the expediency on these, the receipt of the information, the review of the information, and getting this moving forward. So thank you for the efficiency and the expediency. And none of these are in my district, but thank you.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes, those 6 EDF grants are approved, and thank you both for being here in person. Next up, from the Office of Financial Management, we have Chelsea Couch in person, presenting agenda items 6C and D, a new conduit debt issue and 4 school district debt issues with SFCC participation, which require action, and a previous debt issue that requires no action. If you could begin with the new debt issue, and then after we vote on that, you can continue with the previous debt. Is your mic on?
Better. The first issuance I have is a Kentucky Housing Corporation multifamily conduit revenue bond. This is a conduit transaction that does not extend the credit of either the state or corporation. The corporation does receive state private activity bonds, allowing them to issue tax-exempt debt. The net proceeds for this issuance are anticipated at just over $46 million. Bond proceeds will be used to finance the acquisition, construction, and equipping of 3 multifamily residential rental facilities with 294 units located across western Kentucky.
Okay, any questions? Okay, I need a motion. Senator Howe, and second. Co-Chair Girdler, Senator Girdler, if you could call the roll, please.
Senator Funky Frommeyer.
Yes.
Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Yes. Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes. The new debt issue is approved, and you can continue now with the previous debt issue.
So yes, we priced $600 million for State Property and Buildings Commission in early October. This is kind of our highlight reel for our Moody's upgrade again, and I will keep touting that. We were able to capitalize with some tightened spreads, saving the Commonwealth about $10 million in debt service. But overall, it was a great transaction. We received over $4 billion worth of orders, which is huge.
That's very good news, yes. Okay, so the previous debt issue required no action. Any questions or comments?
I just wish Representative Petrie was here to hear all these good news.
Okay, moving along. Before we continue with the 4 SFCC debt issues, I'd like a motion and a second. Motion by Representative Thomas and a second by Co-Chair Girdler. And you may begin.
Okay, I have 4 issues for SFCC. 3 are general obligation debt. It looks like I have Callaway County for some roof projects for their middle and elementary school. Annual debt service in the amount of $60,000 for the state. Elizabethtown Independent, just over $20 million estimated general obligation debt again. And looks like we are paying just over $101,000 of annual debt service on that. Grayson County, $20.7 estimated for renovations to their vocational education center. Annual debt service for the state is just over $79,000. They did receive a $10 million LAVET grant in House Bill 1 of the 2022 session. That is a cash grant and is not included on here. Leslie County, $6.5 million. This is lease appropriation revenue bonds for high school improvements. State's annual debt service is just over $20,000.
Okay, seeing no questions, do I have a motion and a approve the SFCC debt issues. Motion by Senator Howe, second by Representative Thomas. And would you please call the roll?
Senator Funky Fromeyer. Senator Howell. Senator Webb. Representative Herron. Representative Petrie. Representative Thomas.
Aye.
Co-Chair Girdler.
Aye.
Chair Fraser Gordon.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep, those debt issues are approved, and thank you, Ms. Couch. And that brings us to the conclusion of our meeting. And looks like the next meeting date will be Thursday, December the 19th at 9 a.m. And I'll be chairing once again, because you were so kind to. That's right.
I just tickled to death.
Okay.
Make a motion, adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.